The world's #1 male golfer, Scottie Scheffler, has had criminal charges against him dismissed by a court in Louisville, Kentucky. The case arose out of an incident at the gates of the golf course hosting the recent PGA Championship. Here's a look at what happened inside the courtroom last hour.
I now tender to the court a motion and order to dismiss all these charges in this case against Mr. Scheffler with prejudice.
Journalist Steve Futterman has been following this case from Scheffler's arrest almost 2 weeks ago, and he joins us live from Los Angeles for more. So, Steve, can you walk us through the decision to drop these charges and the events that sparked the charges in the first place?
Well, Jacqueline, this all happened 2 weeks ago. Scottie Scheffler arriving for round 2 of the PGA Championship in Louisville. This was all before dawn. He was arriving to begin his warm-ups for that round that day. Now, just before he arrived, a volunteer at the tournament was trying to cross the highway there. He was hit by a bus and instantly killed. So police were there. The area had been cordoned off. That's where the problems began. Scottie Scheffler was trying to get through with his car. Now, depending on who you talk to, he either disobeyed the officer or there was just confusion. That's what Scottie Scheffler said. The decision to prosecute him would have faced some possible obstacles because the arresting officer had not turned on his body cam. That would have been the best evidence. A number of reasons led to the decision today, but as you saw in court, we'll take a look again. The prosecution announced that it wants the charges against Scottie Scheffler dismissed.
Based upon the totality of the evidence, my office cannot move forward in the prosecution of the charges filed against Mr. Scheffler. Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding, close quote, is corroborated by the evidence. Mr. Scheffler's actions and the evidence surrounding their exchange during this misunderstanding do not satisfy the elements of any criminal offenses.
Now, Steve, Scheffler wasn't in court for today's ruling. His lawyer was. He spoke afterwards as well. What stood out to you from what he had to say?
Well, he basically said that if these charges had not been dropped, Scottie Scheffler and he were ready to file a civil lawsuit against the city of Louisville, the Louisville Police Department, and possibly the arresting officer. He said the arrest was unwarranted. It was a false arrest. He basically blamed the police for everything that took place. He said Scottie Scheffler was totally innocent. So that seemed to be the bargaining chip he was talking about. And we'll take a listen to what he had to say.
There are absolutely grounds for a lawsuit. He doesn't want to be involved in one. Again, because who pays? The taxpayers of Louisville. Scottie Scheffler doesn't want the taxpayers of Louisville to have to pay him a dime. He wishes to move forward.
And ironically, those were the exact words used by the mayor of Louisville last week at another court hearing where he was saying he was hoping that everyone would find a way to move forward. They have moved forward. Now, Scottie Scheffler will not have to be back in Louisville. He'll be back at his more familiar and more comfortable location, the golf course. He won't be in the Canadian Open this week, but he will be taking part in other tournaments in the upcoming big U.S. Open. He'll be back there as well. So very uncomfortable situation for Scottie Scheffler ends, I think, amicably for all sides.
Yeah, back to the main event now, Steve. Thanks so much. That's journalist Steve Futterman in Los Angeles.